Hi. So today I'm going to talk about question actually recently somebody asked me, which is that he's got a degree in physics and he wants to know whether it's a good degree for quant finance, right? Well, many people will say it's the best degree for quant finance. If you have a background in physics, I think um, yeah, you will be liked by many interviewers actually because many people who would be interviewing we would also be having a degree in mathematics or physics. Physics is considered a very difficult subject, so if you have done a master's degree or a PhD in physics, then I think you will generally be considered as an intelligent guy who understand mathematics, who can learn coding, who can solve a problem using mathematical modeling, right? But there are quite a number of things to keep in mind, right? Right. So that's a generic answer actually. That yes, a degree in physics is actually quite good if you want to make a career in physics. So in finance, right? Certainly in Europe and in US to a large extent, but for sure in Europe. Actually, in Europe, actually physics is considered a highly difficult subject and very well respected. But things are a bit different in countries like India, actually, right? India is a country where most students who are good in mathematics and physics, they, go on to engineering, computer science, electronics, electrical, and all of that. So there is often lack of knowledge about who wants to do a physics degree in India, right? Um, right. So things can be a bit different in India. So the perception may be a bit different, but not in quant finance. I think in quant finance, if you see some of these quant teams in Mumbai, many of them would be from Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, and so on. So yes, the perception is quite good, even in India, but not as much as you have in Europe and US. In India, sadly, actually, many physics students were not PhD. They don't even know about quant finance. Only the PhD guys they know. Also, only from the top PhD institutions like IITs or TIF or IISc, but not from state universities. They have no clue about it. They simply do not know about this career option, right? So I come from physics. When I speak to my friends who did physics up to PhD level, and some of them are struggling to get jobs in academia. So I was telling them, why don't you, work for a bank as a quant? And they were like, okay, we don't know much about it. We don't know what it is about. We don't want to explore it. That was their response, which is also fine. But if for someone who is confused, right, you should give it a try, right? If you have MSc physics, if you have choice of becoming a school teacher or work for a bank, I would any day work for a bank. You'll make a lot more money, right? And so be aware that your academic, the subject that you are studying has a lot of respect in this industry, right? So be aware of that. Unfortunately, there's lack of awareness in India about this. Elsewhere in Europe and the US, it's different, quite different, but certainly not in India. But there are a couple of things to in mind. Many physics students have never done programming, right? Especially the theoretical physics guys who do not have the experience of data analysis. Many of them have probably have never done programming, especially the master's level graduates. The PhD guys have some experience, but of using MATLAB and all. So get yourself familiarized with some programming. It's not very difficult to learn some MATLAB, some R programming or Python programming, especially the mathematical programming. Basics, right? Matrix multiplications, doing integration or differentiation, using some programming language, writing some basic stuff, doing some automation stuff. It's not very difficult to do that actually, right? If you have a bachelor degree or master degree in physics, learn the programming part also. You are good in mathematics, that is understood. You understand simulations, you understand calculus very well, differential equation very well. All those things will be super helpful, right? If I've done, quantum mechanics level mathematics, I'm sure you can do any mathematics after that. The mathematics used in finance is probably much, much, much easier compared to the mathematics used in core physics. So mathematics will not be a challenge for you, but you must also have some experience with coding, because coding is becoming more important, whether you like it or not. I don't like coding that much, but it's becoming more important also in all kinds of fields, but certainly in quant finance nowadays, right? So that's the thing. Another thing, actually, that things have changed actually in the last few decades. Actually, if you go back to a couple of decades back, in 90s and even 2000, before the financial crisis of 2007 and 8, quant finance used to be uh, less programming heavy, but it has become a bit more programming heavy. Hence, I think I see more computer science guys in quant finance than physicists and mathematicians, especially in the trading side or investment side. But in banks, I do see again a number of physicists working, especially in Europe. I haven't seen many physicists working in India, although there are so many good opportunity, high paying jobs in quant field in India. I think there are thousands of jobs, but I don't know why physicists in India are not interested in these jobs. Many of them prefer working as assistant professor, low paying assistant professor job in some local college somewhere in some district, remote area. But despite having a PhD in from IIT, I know some who are working in these profiles. Some people prefer to become school teacher. That's good for the country, but if may not be very good for yourself financially, at least, then you could also try your hand in this field. So to come back to the original question, yes, it's an amazing career. It's an amazing academic area to be in if you really want to work in quantitative finance. I myself I have a bachelor degree in physics. I moved to financial economics later on, but I did study physics, and I think I'm really proud of that 3 year bachelor degree that I have. I learned so much in those 3 years. I wish I took my bachelor degree more seriously. But whatever little I had studied is immensely useful even today, right? Because if you have put in effort to understand tough mathematics once in your life, you can use that in any field actually. I was reading some papers, a book on deep learning a couple of weeks back, and it was very theory heavy book. Because I had studied theory heavy things in bachelor degree, I found it somewhat easier to follow compared to if you had done mechanical engineering. I don't know. So use that as to your advantage, right? If you're a theoretician, if you are a mathematician, physicist, which is more of a sort of an academic area compared to engineering, use that to your advantage, because quant finance wants your skill. In quant finance, you'll be required not to build IT systems. You'll be required to analyze things, to sit and solve problems through papers, but also translate that into some programming language. You should be able to write well and communicate that to stakeholders. So gain those skills, either through reading and doing some courses, and start applying. Get your first job is very important. That's the most difficult one also, but once you get a job, then sky's the limit. More questions you have, always reach out to me uh, if you want to clarify some doubts. I do have beginner level course, by the way, on quantitative finance. If you want to do that also, let me know. um, yeah, but if you have further questions, you can also ask me in the comment section. Thanks.